here this morning. Again, as we said, 4 games on the slate today. Coming up at 1 o'clock, we will have women's basketball action coming your way with Governor State taking on St. Mary of the Woods. Then at 3 p.m., the Rio Grande men will be back in action as they take on Lindsey Wilson. And then at 5 p.m., the evening capper will be the Rio Grande women taking on the Lindsey Wilson women here from Rio Grande University. Well, we will step aside for a break and be back with player introductions right after this as you are watching the Bevo Francis Classic right here on Video Productions. That was the playing of our national anthem here from the Bevo Francis Classic. Chris Kidd with you, Josh Bowman, our engineer, as West Virginia Tech University getting set to take on Carolina University here in our first game. It's time now for player introductions. Let's listen in.
Guard, a 6'3" graduate student from Rocky Mountain, North Carolina, number 1, Chris.
Starting at another guard, a 6' senior from Chapman, Virginia, number 22, Cameron Buchanan.
Starting at another guard, a 6' senior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, number 33, Andrew Pittman. Forward, a 6'8" junior from Perth, Australia, number 3, Trey Carr. And starting at another forward, a 6'8" graduate student from Mineral Wells, West Virginia, number 5, Dakota Sampson. Carolina University is. And now for the Golden Bears from West Virginia University Tech. Starting at 1 guard, a 6'2" sophomore from Beaver, West Virginia, number 1, Braden Chapman. Starting at another guard, a 6'2" sophomore from Brantford, Ontario, Canada, number 3, Liam Craving. Starting at another guard is 6-foot sophomore from Bevo, West Virginia, number 5, Cole Chapman. Starting at a forward is 6'6" sophomore from Morgantown, West Virginia, number 14, Cameron Danzer. And starting at another forward is 6'7" junior from Monroe, North Carolina, number 22, Thomas Haley. The Golden Bears are coached by George Wilmore.
So there you hear the play or the starting lineups being introduced down on the floor as both teams meet in their huddles. Before going to action here today as West Virginia Tech trying to get out of this Bevo Francis Classic with a 2-0 mark, while Carolina University trying to even up their record at 1-1 before they exit here today. As the officials call for everyone to come to center floor right now as West Virginia Tech will be in their white uniforms today. Carolina University in their dark uniforms, dark gray uniforms here today from Rio Grande University. So it'll be Haley to jump it up in the center circle with Trey Crawford. And we're glad you're with us here this morning on Video Productions as Carolina University will control to begin this contest. Into the front court comes Crawford. He'll dump it off, give it back over near side as Andrew Pittman with it. Dumps it down low block, fumbled a little bit by Crawford, kicks it back out as they swing it around left side for Buchanan. Buchanan doesn't have an opening. Now Sampson will get it over near side. Pittman with 5 on the shot clock, going to have to hurry here. Fades away, puts one up as the horn almost goes off, no good. Now a whistle. And going to be a foul here, it appears, against Carolina. So they'll get Trey Crawford on the push. Now, twin brothers Cole Chapman and Braden Chapman bring the ball up the floor as Braden Chapman had a strong second half yesterday at 18 points, 12 of those coming in the second half in that win over Lindsey Wilson. Cole Chapman, nice dish into the corner, back out, they swing it top of the key, now into the corner. Cole Chapman had a look but chose not to take it. Now back over into the corner, Danzer gets a clean look, he'll put it up, no good, and tipped out of bounds over to Carolina. But great ball movement that time by West Virginia Tech. You saw Haley and Cole Chapman kind of have a little exchange about Chapman passing up that shot. And you could even hear Coach George Wilmore telling Cole Chapman, you know, you've got that shot, take it. Now into the front court, Pittman slams on the brakes. He tries to work around Chapman, circles back, tried to thread the needle over to Buchanan, but knocked out of bounds by Danzer. So stay here with Carolina. Buchanan will inbound from underneath his own basket. Lobs it in, able to get it to Crawford. He'll wait, now giving it off to Hyde. Back over to Buchanan. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Buchanan trapped, now gives it back, baseline. Trying to work his way in. Errant pass, may have been tipped. Let's see, no, apparently it just got away from him. And that'll be a turnover against Carolina. And we saw this pressure defense from West Virginia Tech yesterday caused a lot of disruption to a Lindsey Wilson team that averaged 96 points per game. Nice back cut by Chapman, and he'll lay it in off the pass from Haley. And West Virginia Tech on the board first. They lead it 2-0 as Pittman, stutter stepping, coming across the timeline, gives it a high, now over left side for Sampson. They go baseline to Buchanan, spins into a double team. Now he's swinging around. Pittman contested 3. It's blocked by Braden Chapman, taken away by Haley. Up ahead, Chapman gets it back in the left corner. He'll pull on a 3. That one off the side of the rim, no good, and rebounded by Carolina. High will bring it up the floor. Over to his left, stops, pops a 3 there, in and out, no good. Stands are there for the rebound. Slow start offensively for both sides. Haley was open for a moment down low, but Sampson able to recover. Now entry pass stolen away, taken by Crawford. Here he comes, 2-on-2 the other way. Crawford Euro steps to the left, and he'll be fouled on the way up. And they'll go to the line to shoot 2. So they'll get Haley on the hack. see it on our replay again. Nice move back to the middle. Haley went for the block. Caught him on the hand. You see no argument from Haley on the call. And there's the first points of the game for Carolina as Trey Crawford averaging 6 points per game, 75% free throw shooter on the season. And Crawford, the junior out of Perth, Australia, able to connect on both. And we are even at 2 apiece. Chapman drives in, kicks it into the corner. Now back out front for Danzer. Haley will get it at the top of the key. Takes, spins in, kicks it back out. Chapman looks inside, finds Cole Chapman. Back out to Braden, over to Danzer. He'll pull a 3 from the left wing. That one off the mark, no good. Tipped out of bounds, and last touch by Haley. And then we saw Tech struggle from the outside to begin the game yesterday. We're just 1 of 10 in the first half, but knocked down 5 3-pointers in the second half. Get it over to High, back up top for Pittman. Carolina still looking for their first field goal of the game. Buchanan backing in, lost it, gets it back, now goes to the ground. Let's see if he got some help, and it appears he did. And they're going to get Danzer on the trip that time, so that'll be his first. See here on the replay, yeah, right there, it looks like tripped over Danzer's knee. Trying to circle into the middle. Buchanan struggling to get it in, pass tipped and now stolen away. Up ahead to Chapman, 2-on-1 for a moment. Chapman takes it himself and he'll be fouled on the way up. And Pittman immediately puts his hand up to signal he was the culprit. And again, there's that defense by the Golden Bears. Able to set up a transition opportunity. Again, Braden Chapman averaging 19.2 points per game on the season. 77.1% free throw shooter, but comes up short on the first. You mentioned yesterday he and his brother Cole Chapman played on the Shady Spring High School clubs in West Virginia that won a couple of state championships and some dramatic finishes against Fairmont State, or Fairmont Senior rather. All those games coming right down to the end each time. Shady Spring able to prevail a couple of times. Up top with it, Crawford. Can't find an opening, gets it back out. And again, Carolina not having a whole lot of success penetrating right now against this Tech defense. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Pass intercepted, another turnover forced by the Golden Bears. As Cole Chapman takes it in left side, cut off and knocked away. And it'll stay here with Tech. 16:04 to go in the first half, and now we'll see our first set of substitutes. As Adam Seams, really the star of yesterday's game off the bench for the Golden Bears, with 23 points. Checks in along with Darren Martin. Noah Ashley also in for Carolina. Miller gets into the paint, pull up one-hander, won't get it to fall. Martin unable to convert. And Martin had 6 points yesterday off the bench in that win. Again, both clubs continuing to struggle from the field here in the early going. High, stops, pops a jumper, that one too strong. Rebound comes out long and taken away by Martin. So give it off to Haley. Haley, oh, nice little stutter step there to get inside, count it, and one for Thomas Haley. A little stutter step there, froze the defender. And then Haley able to convert all the way in as he draws the foul on Trey Crawford. That'll be his second. Salou Diop set to check in, but it'll be for the shooter. Haley had 11 points yesterday in the win. And Haley able to convert on the free throw, again, 68% free throw shooter on the year. Now he'll get a breather with Diop checking into the game. Diop out of the Senegal, 6'10 senior. And High can't find anyone open, and he just has to burn a timeout here with 15:34 to go in the first half. So we'll step aside as well and be back after this as you're watching the Bevo Francis Classic with us right here on Video Productions.
Robotic technology, minimally invasive procedures, custom joint replacement, and 3D imaging. These are advanced surgical procedures available at Holzer. Our game-changing advancements provide quality outcomes, which means you return to living your life sooner. With Mako and Da Vinci Robotics, we are taking surgical care to the next level. Think Holzer first.
Back here at Rio Grande University, Chris Kidd with you with Josh Bowman, our engineer, as West Virginia Tech out to a 6-2 lead over Carolina University here in the first half. As Carolina just had to burn a 30-second timeout trying to get the ball inbound. As Tech going full court pressure now. And we've seen Carolina struggle with this defense already here in the first half. They got more turnovers than points as of this moment. As Crawford spins inside against Diop, trying to find an opening. Still doesn't have one now, able to get one over the big man, but can't get it to fall as Carolina still 0 from the field. There are only points coming on the free throw line, so they've been held scoreless from the field for the first 5 minutes of this game. Martin swings it over for Chapman. He'll launch a three from the left wing, and Braden Chapman hits the first three of the game for either side. He's now got 6 points, and the lead is up to 7. And if Carolina doesn't find some offense in a hurry, this game could get away from them fast. Buchanan once again goes to the ground and loses it. Seems 4-on-1 the other way. Chapman over to Danzer, lays it up and in, and it's now an 11-2 lead. And the turnover bug has stricken big here for the Bruins in the first half. So they just can't seem to do anything against this West Virginia Tech defense. Buchanan slides in, has it knocked away by Diop. Seams picks it up. Here he comes back the other way. Looking for a double-digit lead on this trip. Danzer pops a three, and that's good. And now it's all clicking for the Golden Bears as they hold a 14-2 edge. High once again being hounded on the inbound, able to lob it in. Trying to split between a double team is Hugo Mari, who's checked in. Gives it off underneath, blocked by Diop. Exploded, they now lead at 17-2. With 13:33 remaining in the first half. We'll step aside for a break and be back after this as you are watching the Bevo Francis Classic right here on Video Productions. Again, the Golden Bears have been lights out here in the last couple of minutes after a slow start from the field as they have erupted for a 15-0 run, and they hold a 17-2 lead. Chris Kidd with you, Josh Bowman, our engineer. And again, this West Virginia Tech defense has been nothing but stellar throughout these two games. Holding a Lindsey Wilson club that averaged 96.3 points per game to just 55 points yesterday. And so far, through 6.5 minutes of this first half, Carolina doesn't have a field goal to their name just yet. And now they have to deal with this relentless full court pressure from the Golden Bears. They'll inbound it. Isaiah Johnson III checking into the game. So give it off to Pittman. Now over near side. There's Jalen Killens McIntyre into the game. He'll get it over left side. Three on the way is an air ball from Johnson. Tried to save it inbounds to Pittman, but it goes over to Danzer. Now Chapman will bring it up the floor. Over to Seams. And they've gone 7 minutes without a field goal here in the first half. Martin retreats. Now dribbles in, tries to find a little opening. Takes over to the left side, can't hit on the little floater in, and then we get a push after the fact. And that'll go against Diop, so that'll be his first. Both teams even at 3 team fouls here in the first half. Now Simon Tesfit. 6'6" freshman out of Stockholm, Sweden. Gets his first action of this tournament. Again, didn't get in yesterday. Johnson will bring it up against him. Gets by all the way to the 10, but once again challenged right at the rim and unable to convert as Tesfit will get the rebound. Now Seams will bring it up the floor. Seams penetrates in, dumps it off for Haley, and he'll slam it home. 5 points for Haley, and it's now a 17-0 Golden Bears run. Carolina can't seem to solve any part of this puzzle so far in the first half, and they're not going to here either. Haley with a steal. Drives in, puts up the floater. Won't get this to fall, though. Rebounded by Pittman. Good defense by him all the way down the floor in order to contest Haley after that steal. Pittman will drive into the center, pulls up, count it, and the foul. And there's the first field goal of the game for Carolina with 8 minutes and 5 seconds gone here in the first half. Good take there, and you see Danzer, the culprit, as he reached in. That'll be number 2 on him. Pittman sinks the free throw. Averaged 3.5 points per game on the year. So he's equaled basically that total already here on that 3-point play. Haley gets it back out to Martin. Martin stutter steps, now goes in, and he's rejected on the way up by Sampson. And it'll stay here with the Golden Bears. Good entry pass to Seams, but he didn't have an angle against Pittman. Backs in, now trying to find someone. Gets it over to Haley, and he puts it in the rim with Sampson as he slams it home for the second straight time. 21-5 now, West Virginia Tech. Pittman crosses over, gets inside, lost control of it. Let's see, last touch, though, will be by Tech. And here you see the replay again against Sampson. Wrong place, wrong time as Haley puts him on a poster. And Haley with another strong first half, just like he had yesterday. He'll give it over. Sampson backing his way in, had it poked away by Seams. Now back out front, the reset as Johnson will slide in on the left side, and Tesfit thought he had the rejection, but instead foul called. That'll be the first against him as we check it out on our replay. Again, close call at the rim that time. So it looked like Tesfit got the ball, but didn't see where the contact was, maybe on the back end of it. Johnson unable to hit on the first free throw. Again, Carolina getting close to the penalty now. That's 5 team fouls against Tech here in the first half. Johnson does convert on the second. And again, that is the price that Tech is willing to pay for the type of defense they play. Again, if they get into some foul trouble, they've got depth to be able to counter that. As Cole Chapman drives in, dishes off to Haley. Haley fakes a couple times, goes up with the left hand, and he'll finish once again. There's no answer for Thomas Haley right now. He's got 9 points here in the first half, just like he did yesterday. Johnson penetrates in, puts up a floater, won't fall. Long rebound, Seams tips it around. It goes back over to Weeby. Behind the back pass. Tried to find Sampson, but poked away. Now Seams will bring it into the front court. Seams waiting. Thought about the three. Now gives it off to Chapman. Chapman will sling it back out. Martin, defender, fell down, and Sampson there to reject Martin at the rim again. Now Braden Chapman, along with Liam Craven, will check back in. Cole Chapman will inbound. Lob it in for Haley on the left block up against Sampson. He's got a little bit of a size advantage. Goes to his left hand, and Haley converts once more. Great spin move to the baseline there for Thomas Haley as a 6'7" junior out of Monroe, North Carolina. Has dominated the first half of action on the offensive end for the Golden Bears. Johnson can't find an opening. Able to get rid over near side as McIntyre goes to Sampson with 3 on the shot clock. Johnson's going to have to force one up. No good, and Haley grabs the uncontested rebound. Seams brings it up the right side, 25-6. Golden Bears lead it. Chapman dumps it down to Haley. They continue to feed him. Back out, now into the corner. Cole Chapman, good look for 3, and he'll knock this one down. And Cole Chapman gets his first bucket of the game. 28-6. 9 minutes to go here in the first half. It's McIntyre. You've just seen so much of this in the first half for Carolina. A lot of dribbling around the perimeter, and there's a forced-up shot by Sampson. Won't fall. Rebound taken away by Chapman. Chapman, Sutter steps into the lane, drives in with his offhand, and lays it in with the right. Braden Chapman now equals Haley with 11 points here in the first half. This has just been an outright onslaught from the get-go by the Golden Bears as Johnson pullback jumper, and he'll knock one down, and that'll draw a quick timeout from the Golden Bears. So 30-8 your score with 8:21 left in the first half. We'll be back after this as you're watching the Bevo Francis Classic here on Video Productions. And 30-8 in favor of West Virginia Tech University here in the first half. Chris Kidd with you, Josh Bowman, our engineer. As Carolina University has had their struggles the entire first half trying to solve this defense of West Virginia Tech. Johnson knocking down the field goal a moment ago. Just the second field goal of this entire first half for this Carolina club. It's Cole Chapman. Swings it over now into the corner for Seams. Back out to Craven. Craven into the middle. Trying to find an opening. Falling down was Austin Davenport. Was able to give it over to Chapman though. Davenport gets it back. Swings it out. Craven swings it back to Cole Chapman. He'll launch a 3 from the left side. That one may have been deflected a bit, but rebounded inside, and a 30-second shot clock violation against West Virginia Tech, and that'll give it back over to Carolina. And that'll bring us to a media timeout with 7:49 to go here in the first half. So we'll step aside and be back after this as you're watching the Bevo Francis Classic here on Video Productions. 30-8, West Virginia Tech leading Carolina University with 7:49 remaining in the first half. Chris Kidd with you, Josh Bowman, our engineer, here for our first of 4 games today on video production from the Bevo Francis Classic here at Rio Grande University. So we'll have women's college basketball coming your way next at 1 o'clock with Governor State taking on St. Mary of the Woods as we get a kicked ball. So it'll stay here with Carolina. As Governor State fell to Rio Grande on the girls' side last night, St. Mary of the Woods ended Lindsey Wilson's girls' undefeated start to the season with a runaway win yesterday afternoon as Sampson will launch a 3, nearly banked it in. It goes right to Pittman. He'll go up in front of the basket, and that's been the story of the first half. Just no luck for this Bruins club as Sampson stepped out of bounds trying to fly in to grab the rebound. And you start to do that whenever you get open looks. You kind of panic whenever you've been nothing but harassed for an entire half. You get a clean look like that, you feel like I've got to do something with it now. The defense is going to be flying in from everywhere. You see Pittman just kind of rush that. Chapman, corner 3, and he'll hit again. That's his 3rd 3 of the half. Braden Chapman, 14 points in all. And Chapman and Haley both beating Carolina by themselves point-wise right now. They try to force one inside, and good defense by Chapman, and that one goes out of bounds back over to West Virginia Tech. And again, whenever we look at the first half stats, it'll probably be very close as to whether there's more turnovers or points for Carolina. As Chapman pull up jumper, a little too close for him that time. Again, he's been red hot from the outside. Give it back to Hyde. Dribbles in, had it poked away. Once again, getting his hands in was Cole Chapman. Able to deflect it away. Another Carolina turnover. Seams swings it over for Craven. Back up top over to Seams. Now to Davenport. Back over, drive baseline by Craven. Has pass deflected, taken away by Pittman, but tries to save it. Goes to Seams. Back out, now to Cole Chapman. Chapman penetrates in, over to Seams in the left corner. He's picked up there by High. Seams barreling his way in. Over his head pass. What a look by Seams. Able to find Braden Chapman for the layup. Braden Seams, eyes in the back of his head with a no-look pass in order to find Chapman for his 18th point. Get it into the corner. High will launch a 3, and there's the first outside jumper to fall of the game for Carolina. As they finally break into double digits at 35-11. With 5:22 to go here in the first half. And just the 3rd made field goal of the half for Carolina. Cole Chapman, nice give and go to Davenport, goes up, and Davenport will give his first bucket of the tournament. Davenport, a 6'8" freshman out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. 26-point bulge right now for Tech. Sampson had it poked, almost lost it. Swing it over left side. Strong take here. Cut off is Morey. He'll take the turnaround and he'll convert. Hugo Morey, 6'3" freshman out of Marseille, France. Gets himself on the board here today. It's Cole Chapman. Now into the corner for Braden Chapman. Step back, heat check 3, and it's red hot as he knocks over one of the stanchions over along the entranceway. And Braden Chapman with 4 3-pointers and 21 points here in the first half. 40-13 in favor of the Golden Bears. Sampson up top, he'll take a straight on 3, and now Carolina starting to find some range here. As Tech loosening up a little bit on the defensive side. Nice back cut, Chapman got free into the corner, over to Craven, 3 on the way, and that one off the mark. You could see the bench wanting Chapman to not pass up those attempts. Again, he had the layup underneath. Did see Craven wide open. But passed up on the 2, and on the other end, Morey makes him pay as he knocks down a 3. Yeah, Morey averaging 2.7 points per game, but he's got 5 here in the last 2 possessions. 40-19. Carolina starting to find a little bit of a rhythm here. Into the corner, Craven gets a clean look for 3. This one won't fall. Rebound tipped around, loose underneath. Seams poked it away, and they're going to say last touch by Morey. So once again, Seams making something happen to save a possession as timeout called with 3:08 to go here in the first half. We'll be back after this as you're watching the Bevo Francis Classic right here on Video Productions. (40-19), West Virginia Tech leading Carolina University with 3:08 remaining here in the first half. Chris Kidd with you, Josh Bowman, our engineer. As this is our first of 4 games here today on Video Productions. Again, coming up at 1 o'clock, we have Governor State taking on St. Mary of the Woods in the women's division. At 3 o'clock, the Rio Grande announcing crew will take over for the final 2 games here on Video Productions as they'll bring you Rio Grande against Lindsey Wilson on the men's side. Again, that at 3 o'clock. And then at 5 p.m., final game of the tournament on the women's side will be Rio Grande and Lindsey Wilson. As Cole Chapman takes a contested shot inside against Sampson, he'll draw the foul. So that'll send Cole Chapman to the free throw line. Sampson will pick up his first foul. Chapman, an 84.6% free throw shooter on the year, and he knocks down the first. And Chapman is more of a facilitator than he is a scorer, but he can definitely light it up whenever he wants to if he hits both free throws. It's 42-19. Nice behind the back dribble by Morey into the front court. Now that Sampson in the left corner. Pittman will circle it back out, gives it to Hyde. Now back over left side. Ashley gives it down to Sampson. He's double teamed, looking for a pass out of it. Finally gets rid of it, deflected away as Haley back into the game, gets his mitts on it. Carolina University, 9 seconds to shoot here. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Lobbing it inside for Sampson. Sampson takes a turnaround hook shot, and he gets the friendly roll. 5 points for Sampson now. And the lead is at 21. It's been as high as 26 here in the first half. Haley on the left baseline. Pushes his way in, goes up with the right hook. Can't hit as he slips to the floor. So here comes Carolina back the other way, closing in on 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Ashley gives it over to Hyde. Nice fake by him. Drives in, gives it to Sampson. Lost it on the way up. May have been deflected and now taken by Danzer. Chapman pushes it up the floor over left side. Cole Chapman gets a nice lane to the basket and he'll lay it in. Good screen by Haley in order to create that opening for Chapman as he scores his 7th point. 44-21. Morey been good off the bench for Carolina. High will take a deep 3 and he'll connect again. Again, Chris High has had to take a couple of tough threes. A 6'3" grad student out of Rocky Mount, North Carolina. He's been able to convert. Lead down to 20 is up ahead, lob pass, and Haley unable to finish on the flush. Taken back by Morey, dangerous entry pass, and that gets by everybody and out of bounds. It's a good alley-oop to Haley that time. You don't see him miss that often. He's had 2 finishes at the rim already this half. Chapman brings it across the timeline with 1 minute to go here in the first half. Now Braden Chapman with it. Barrels his way in, slings it into the corner. Nice save by Cole Chapman. Now he's trapped along the sideline, and he's going to have to burn a timeout with 48.7 seconds to go here in the first half. No, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds with it instead. Again, I saw the official point, and I thought I saw Chapman in a timeout position, but they say he stepped out instead. Pittman has it at the top of the key. Gives it off to Ashley. Now back to Morey. Tries to go behind his back inside. Good defense there by Chapman in order to prevent him from getting to the paint. Pittman takes it baseline. Little floater up, and he'll get it to bank home. So with all the struggles Carolina had for about the first 15 minutes of this half on offense, it finally started to open up some here near the end of the half. As Cole Chapman will hold for the final shot, down to 10 seconds. Chapman now gets a screen from Haley, gives it to Haley into the corner. Martin out to Braden Chapman with 3 seconds, drives in with the right hand, and he'll lay it in to close out a dominant first half for the West Virginia Tech Golden Bears as they lead it 46-26 after the first 20 minutes of action. We'll step aside for a break, and when we come back, we'll run through some first half stats with you as you are watching the Bevo Francis Classic with us right here on Video Productions. (46-26), West Virginia Tech leading Carolina University here at the half. Chris Kidd with you, Josh Bowman, our engineer. And again, it was a 15-0 run after the score was tied 2-2 that created all the separation for Tech. Carolina struggled to get anything to fall for about the first 15 minutes of the first half, but finally able to open up their offense a little towards the end of the half, but now they find themselves in a 20-point hole against a very good defensive West Virginia Tech club. As you see some of the women down on the floor warming up right now for their game coming up next. Again, it'll be Mount St. Mary's of the Woods going up against Governor State. That's Governor State down on the floor warming up right now. Again, that game coming your way at approximately 1 o'clock. Then at 3 o'clock, it'll be Rio Grande taking on the Lindsey Wilson men in the final men's division game of the tournament. And then our final game of the tournament will be at 5 p.m. this evening, with Rio Grande taking on Lindsey Wilson on the women's side to close things out in this 8-game tournament set. So again, we're glad you're with us here on Video Productions for this tournament, both yesterday and today. Again, high school football, everything else coming your way as well here on Video Productions. High school basketball right around the corner. So much coming your way throughout the next few months right here on Video Productions. And again, here at the half, West Virginia Tech leading it 46-26 over Carolina University. We'll step aside for a break and come back and run through some of the first half statistics with you as you are watching the Bevo Francis Classic right here on Video Productions.
Robotic technology, minimally invasive procedures, custom joint replacement, and 3D imaging. These are advanced surgical procedures available at Holzer. Our game-changing advancements provide quality outcomes, which means you return to living your life sooner. With Mako and Da Vinci Robotics, we are taking surgical care to the next level. Think Holzer first.
(46-26) here at the half. West Virginia Tech leading Carolina University. Chris Kidd with you, Josh Bowman, our engineer. So let's take a look at the first half statistics here, starting with Carolina, as they were led in scoring by Chris High with 6 points, Dakota Sampson and Andrew Pittman each with 5 points, Hugo Maury with 5 points, Isaiah Johnson with 3 points, and Trey Crawford with 2 points to round out the scoring for the Bruins. On the other side for Tech, again, Braden Chapman leading all scorers with 21 points, Thomas Haley with 11. Then you have Cole Chapman with 7 points, Cameron Danzer with 5 points, and Austin Davenport with 2 points to round out the scoring. Again, field goal percentage much improved for Carolina after a very rocky start. They did finish 40.9% from the field. Tech shooting a blistering 60% from the field, including 50% from three-point land, as Tech's 6 of 12 from deep. Carolina improving on that late in the half as well. They're shooting 4 of 8 from downtown. Free throw shooting even at 4 or 5 each throughout the first half. Turnovers, though, Carolina 11 turnovers in the first half. West Virginia Tech has made them pay with that as they hold a 13-4 edge in points off of turnovers. Also, Tech dominating in the paint, 24-8 in points in the paint, as Carolina doesn't have any second chance opportunities and no fast break points either here in the first half, as Tech has led it wire to wire thus far. They lead it by 20 right now. Largest lead was at 27 earlier in this half. So again, it's 46-26 here at intermission. We'll step aside for another break and be back after this as you are watching the Bevo Francis Classic right here on Video Productions.
Robotic technology, minimally invasive procedures, custom joint replacement, and 3D imaging. These are advanced surgical procedures available at Holzer. Our game-changing advancements provide quality outcomes, which means you return to living your life sooner. With Mako and Da Vinci Robotics, we are taking surgical care to the next level. Think Holzer first.
West Virginia Tech out of the locker room warming up down on the floor. St. Mary of the Woods women's team warming up on the other end as Carolina yet to come out of the locker room for warm-ups for the second half, as Tech in control, leading at 46-26 here at intermission. And once again, this is our first of 4 games here today from Rio Grande University. St. Mary of the Woods will tee it up against Governor State coming up next at 1 p.m. here on Video Productions. Then at 3 o'clock, it'll be back to the men's side as Rio Grande takes on Lindsey Wilson. And then at 5 p.m., Rio Grande's women will close out the tournament as they take on Lindsey Wilson on the women's side as well. So again, stay with us the rest of the day here on Video Productions for more college basketball action. As we're closing in on the start of the second half, we'll be back right after this break for the start of the second half as you are watching the Bevo Francis Classic right here on Video Productions. Getting ready for the start of the second half. Here from Rio Grande University, Chris Kidd with you, Josh Bowman, our engineer. As West Virginia Tech will get the ball to start the second half. Again, they led by as much as 27 in the first half of action, before Carolina started to catch a little fire near the end of the half. It's Haley, spins inside, fakes, goes up the left hand, and he'll finish. Much of the same for Thomas Haley. As he starts off right where he left off in the first half, as he's now got 13 points. And lead back to 22 here in the early stages. Sampson on the left block. Gets it out to Buchanan. Buchanan went to the bench for the majority of the first half. It's high, takes a tough fade away from the right elbow off the back iron. Rebound tipped around, nicely saved by Crawford. Out to Buchanan, he'll go for three, but that one's short. Rebound comes back out. Chapman up the left side. Spins away, goes up with the right hand, but too strong as it'll go out of bounds, and last touch by Carolina. As the shot clock continued to run for a few extra seconds, and I think the official caught it. Trying to get a few extra seconds put back on, and they will. So instead of 15, it'll be 18 on the shot clock. So swing it around to Danzer, now to Braden Chapman, fakes on a three, drives in, nice bounce pass over to Haley. Haley goes up, and he'll be fouled, and that'll send him to the line to shoot two. Pittman put his hand in the air, and they will say that foul against Pittman, so that'll be his second. Again, nice dish there. And see, Sampson had the rejection, but Pittman saying he committed the contact as Haley went up. Haley sinks the first cleanly. Haley misses on the second, 68% free throw shooter on the year. So his first miss from the line. 49-26, Tech leads it as Sampson fakes, goes up on the left block, and he'll lay it in. Nice fake by Sampson in order to get his man in the air, and he's got 7 points, and now Tech wants a quick timeout with 18:32 to go here in the second half. We'll be back after this as you're watching the Bevo Francis Classic right here on Video Productions.
Robotic technology, minimally invasive procedures, custom joint replacement, and 3D imaging. These are advanced surgical procedures available at Holzer. Our game-changing advancements provide quality outcomes, which means you return to living your life sooner. With Mako and Da Vinci Robotics, we are taking surgical care to the next level. Think Holzer first.
So Coach Wilmore not happy with his team's defense. Elected call time to try and alert their attention again. They led up near the end of the first half, and now Haley out of the timeout throws one into the bench. And that'll give it back over to Carolina. So again, Tech very disciplined throughout the first 15 minutes of this contest when they built that 27-point lead, but since then have gotten a little lackadaisical. They drive it over on the baseline, step back jumper for High, that one too strong, rebounded by Chapman. Up ahead. Nice give and go. Chapman goes to the reverse, but misses. Sampson may have got a piece of that on the backside. It's high. Forces his way in on the right side. Goes up and banks it in. Chris High now with 8 points for the game. 49-30. Carolina shaved 8 points off that 27-point lead. Chapman gets around Pittman over to Danzer in the corner. Wide open look, and Danzer will bury a three. Cameron Danzer, his second three of the game, his 8th point of the game, and the lead back to 22. High will get it over to Buchanan. Dumps it down low. Crawford can't find anything. They'll reset out front with Buchanan, and there'll be a whistle and a foul as there'll be a push on Haley. That'll be his second. Team foul apiece now here early in the second half. High waiting, trying to find someone. Finally locates Pittman. He'll dump it down low. Crawford spins, pass tipped by Chapman. It'll go into the seats to an unsuspecting couple who was checking something out on their phone. That'll catch your attention real fast. High will inbound it to Buchanan. Back over to High and nearly traveled with it, trying to corral the ball. And down to 3 on the shot clock. High going to have to force one up over Haley. Left it short. Rebounded by Chapman on a run out here. Lobs it up for Haley. Haley had to swat it away from the rim, it was a little too far past him. As now Crawford into the front court, spins away from Cole Chapman, splits 2 defenders, and he'll lay it up and in. Nice take by Trey Crawford. He's got 4 points. Back the other way, Chapman on a quick take, and he'll be fouled on the way to the rim, and that'll send him to the line. Let's see here on our instant replay, again attacking quickly before Carolina could reset. Chapman, who had 21 first half points, goes to the line and sinks his first. Braden Chapman, a 77.1% free throw shooter, is now going to get near wholesale changes here for Tech. Here's Danzer and Braden Chapman will be the only 2 left on the floor after that change. Martin, Seams, and Diop into the game for the Golden Bears. As Chapman calmly sinks both free throws for his 22nd and 23rd points. 16:28 to go here in the ball game. 22-point lead for West Virginia Tech. It's Morey back into the contest, gives it over. Crawford, tough shot as he spun right into Diop, put it up too high. Chapman will bring it back across the timeline, laser pass inside and deflected away. Sampson looked like he may have got it in the hand on it. And again, Dakota Sampson's been rather irritated throughout this contest. But he's played solid basketball here today out of Mineral Wells, West Virginia, as Chapman lost it off the foot of High. And he'll stay here with Tech. There's Martin backing his way in, fakes, gives it off underneath the Diop. He's stripped, but Martin gets it back at the free throw line, down to 8 on the shot clock. Danzer gets a good look for 3, but misses off the back iron, as Diop apparently hurt after the play, as he and Sampson were fighting down low trying to get to the loose ball. And Diop now holding his right elbow, it appears. Again, couldn't quite see the entanglement that he and Sampson had, but now as he goes to his feet, looks like he's maybe holding a little bit more of his shoulder. He's still doubled over in pain as he's walking back towards the locker room. So it's hard to tell whether it was his shoulder or his elbow as he goes back to get checked out, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. Diop's been a strong member on this defensive side the last couple days as there's a strip. Ball loose on the floor, and we're going to get a tie-up. So possession will stay here. As Carolina inbound underneath its own basket. 15:39 remaining here in the second half. And now they'll switch it over to the near side. High still looking for someone. Finally finds Morey on the left wing. Morey drives into the middle, fakes, goes up against Martin, and can't get the friendly roll as it's taken away by Seams. Up ahead to Chapman. Chapman gives it back out to Seams. Seams back over to Chapman, drives in baseline, cut off, dishes back to Martin. Wasn't totally ready for that pass, and Sampson takes it away. Across the timeline, Martin gives it over for Morey. Morey looking, fakes on a three. Now he'll take the three. Got a decent look but couldn't finish. Crawford able to control it enough for the tip in and the M1. So get that on Danzer. That'll be three on him. You see right there, he never totally gathered it, but a great job by Crawford controlling it just enough to be able to put it back in, and he'll have an M1 opportunity when we come back as West Virginia Tech leads Carolina 54-34. You're watching the Bevo Francis Classic right here live on Video Productions. Out of the timeout, 20-point lead for West Virginia Tech over Carolina as Crawford will go to the free throw line to try and convert on the N1 opportunity a moment ago. That one didn't have a whole lot of rotation to it as it came out of his hands. That's his first miss from the line. Martin gives it back to Seams, now down low. Haley kicks it out. Dancer gets a good look for three. That one misses off the front iron. Rebound taken away by Morey. So he'll kick it up ahead to Ashley. Sampson back over to Morey. And Tech starting to tighten up the defense a little bit more here as they go down low, and it looks like Seams going to get called for a reach in here. And it'll be a hold instead against Seams. So that'll be his first. 3 team fouls now against Tech, 2 against Carolina here in the second half. Lob it in for Crawford, now to Morey. Now to Ashley. He'll launch a three as he falls away, but can't get it to roll home as Haley will grab the rebound. Pass almost got away, but Martin able to track it down. Martin slowly work his way in. Now kicks it out to Seams, goes for three, no good. Again, he had 23 yesterday, but that was just his first shot attempt of the afternoon here today. Ashley puts his way in. Nice banker for Ashley as he waited patiently. He's finally able to notice the opening, and he converts on his first bucket of the game. 54-36. West Virginia Tech leading it. Haley barreling his way in, but misses on the right-handed hook. We've seen so many shots roll out from both sides here today. Morey on the left side. Carolina trying to make a move here. So closing on 13 minutes to go in the contest. They kick it over to Sampson, now to High. High finds a crease, goes into the middle, but can't convert. Rebound taken away by Martin. Martin races up the center. 2 men to each side. Martin will keep it himself and finish right up the gut. Darren Martin with his first bucket of the game, the senior out of Bluefield, West Virginia, pushes the lead back to 20. High pulls up in front of Seams. Tough jumper there, no good. Chapman got the rebound, but High tipped it away on the outlet pass underneath Crawford. He'll hit on the reverse layup. Good defense there for High to get a piece of that outlet pass, or else that could have been 2 the other way for Tech. Chapman spins left baseline, and we get a whistle as High goes crashing to the deck. And he'll be the one whistled for the foul. That'll be his first, as Cole Chapman will check back into the game for Danzer. And Pittman will check in for Crawford. Haley takes the left baseline, finds an opening, gets all the way to the 10, and he'll lay it in. A nice explosion by Haley once he noticed the opening. He was able to exploit it, and he's now got 16 points. Morey waiting, finally gets to Pittman. He'll dump it down to Sampson. He turns baseline, runs into Chapman, tried to get it over to Morey, but it goes out of bounds. As Chapman forced a misguided pass that time once he got in the way of Morey, or Sampson rather. That'll be another Carolina turnover. Seams will drive in, takes it right side, dumps it off for Haley. Couldn't find an opening. Now out to Chapman, wide open for 3, and there's another three-pointer for Braden Chapman. He's now got 5 threes for the game and 26 points for the sophomore. Morey with a nice take off the right side as he exploded to the rim, but he can't finish the layup. Martin back the other way. We'll reset everything back out front with Haley. Now over to Chapman, gets a good look again for 3, but this one off the side to the right. Rebound taken back by Carolina, 61-38, Tech in control. Ashley over to Pittman. So reset up top. Sampson tried to body up with Chapman but couldn't find anything. And now Ashley takes it to the hoop on the left side, no good. And then Sampson's fouled on the rebound. And they'll call that foul on Darren Martin. That'll be his first. You just see Ashley was at a really tough angle trying to get that to go. Again, left hand, he would have had a better shot with it. But Sampson will go to the line here to shoot 2. First one off the back iron, no good. So Liam Craven will check back into the game. Christian Goebel, 6'4" freshman out of Charleston, West Virginia, gets him for the first time today. Sampson able to convert on the second attempt. Sampson now will check out as Crawford goes back in. approach the midway point of the second half. 61-39, West Virginia Tech leading it. Cole Chapman trying to shake Pittman. Almost sent Pittman to the floor on that crossover. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Craven back over to Cole Chapman. Down to 5. Chapman lost control of it, gets it back into the corner for his brother. Braden fades away and hits another three. Man, the bigger degree of difficulty, the easier the shot for Braden Chapman here today. His 6th three-pointer of the afternoon. As he nears 30 points for the game. Pittman back out to Ashley. Drives in right side, rejected by Braden Chapman violently as he went to the rim. They get it up ahead. Craven out to Goebel. He'll drive in strong on the right side, and let's see. Whistle came on the way in. They'll count it and the foul. So timeout now after Goebel finishes at the rim, and Tech has regained their 27-point lead here in the second half with 9:28 to go. We'll be back after this as you're watching the Bevo Francis Classic here on Video Productions. Virginia Tech leads at 66-39. With 9:28 to go here in the contest. Again, Carolina cut things down as close as 16. But now this is the largest deficit of the game for the Bruins. As Tech has just gone on another spurt here. Morey gets it back at the top of the key. Now to Crawford. He's had a good second half so far. Get back out to Morey. Can't shake Chapman. Now drives in. Almost lost his pivot foot and did lose his pivot foot as he'll be called for a travel. And that'll give it back over to the Golden Bears. There's Morey and Crawford will check out as Sampson back in, along with High. Goebel gives it over to Cole Chapman. He'll drive in along the baseline, can't find an opening, gets it back out. Goebel calling for the ball. He gets a good look for three. That one off the front iron, though, rebounded by High. So push it up ahead to Ashley. Ashley waits now, trying to set up Pittman down low. Pittman takes it to the left block, but has nowhere else to go. Forces his way up and under Goebel. What a move by Pittman. In order to get that to go, he's got 7 now. 67-41 out front. Diop over to Chapman. Chapman swings it back out. Now over to Cole Chapman. Drives in, splits 2 defenders, goes up and lays it in. Nice move by Cole Chapman. He's now got 9 points. 69-41 as we close in on 8 minutes to go. High. Top of the key. Gets it over. Sampson. He'll put up a launch or a high arching three that rattles out. Taken away by Braden Chapman. He lobs it up ahead as Diop got a little too far underneath, and good to see Diop back out there after he went back to the locker room holding his shoulder and elbow a few minutes ago as Buchanan gets a wide open look for three, and he'll knock it down. Cameron Buchanan, his first bucket of the game. He's the senior out of Chatham, Virginia. Puts himself in the score column. Diop gets it over. Chapman goes for a deep three. This one off the mark, though. As I said, the more difficult the shot's been today, the easier it's been for Chapman to make it. The ones he's had time to set up, he's had a little bit more difficulty finding the range. It's high. Gives it back over. Sampson kicks it out to Buchanan. Steps back. Thought about three behind the back pass. Sampson will take it from the left corner, but off the mark. Craven gets the board. Down to 6:45 to play here in the contest. Tech has led wire to wire here today. Chapman kicks it out to Goebel. Goebel sets, launches, three off the back rim, no good. Rebound taken away. That's Pittman. Get it up ahead to Buchanan. Now back out to Pittman. Ashley will drive inside, back out to Buchanan. Three on the way. That one on line, but just a little short. Chapman waiting, gives it back out. Craven, he'll take a good look for three. That one off the side of the backboard, though. It's Craven yet to score here today for the Bears. And now Pittman on the other side. Baseline jumper won't fall. Again, we've kind of evolved into a little bit of backyard basketball here in the last couple of possessions. And I think Coach Wilmore senses that, and so he wants time out to try and talk to his club here with 5:47 to go. And Tech leading by 25. We'll be back after this as you are watching the Bevo Francis Classic here on Video Productions.
Robotic technology, minimally invasive procedures, custom joint replacement, and 3D imaging. These are advanced surgical procedures available at Holzer. Our game-changing advancements provide quality outcomes, which means you return to living your life sooner. With Mako and Da Vinci Robotics, we are taking surgical care to the next level. Think Holzer first.
.547 remaining here in the second half. 69-44, West Virginia Tech in control over Carolina University. Chris Kidd with you, Josh Bowman, our engineer. And Tech with a 70-55 win over Lindsey Wilson yesterday. Carolina falling 89-67 to Rio Grande last night. As Tech on their way to a 2-0 trip here in this Bevo Francis Classic. Carolina set to take another loss this season as they came in at 1-7 in the NAI Independent League. Look like they're on their way to 1-8. There's turnover on the inbounds pass. It's Pittman. Top of the key, gives it off to High. High looks inside, fumbled around by Crawford, but he finally gets control of it. And now a takeaway here as Seams looks ahead. Gets it over for Chapman, down low for Haley. Haley, nice spin move to the left side, but cut off. Now goes back to his right, but left it short. Haley fights and gets the offensive rebound, kicks it back out to Chapman. Now to Danzer, drives baseline, wraparound pass to Haley. Now out, Cole Chapman triggers a three. This one off the mark and rebounded by Pittman. Up ahead pass, Seams intercepted it, but was out of bounds. He tried to come up with it. looks like a media timeout here with 4:51 to go. So we'll step aside and be back after this as you're watching the Bevo Francis Classic here on Video Productions. Out of the media timeout, 25-point lead for West Virginia Tech. Chris Kidd with you, Josh Bowman, our engineer. Again, coming up next, we'll go to the women's division. Starting at approximately 1 o'clock, it'll be Governor State versus St. Mary of the Woods. Coming your way here from Rio Grande University in the Bevo Francis Classic. And this has been all West Virginia Tech from the get-go here today. The only tie we had was at 2-2. Before Tech went on a 15-0 blitz, and ever since then they've led by as much as 28 in this game. Morey gets it over to Sampson, finds its way inside, and he'll put it up and in. And apparently that's the end of the game as the buzzer sounded inadvertently. That or Davenport scored the 100,000th point in this arena, one of the two. It's 69-46 now. They get it over for Danzer. Danzer penetrates in, goes with his offhand, but can't finish, and he'll be fouled. So that'll send him to the line to shoot a pair of free throws. As Crawford picks up his 4th foul. That'll be 16 fouls against Carolina, so Tech will be in the bonus the rest of the way as Danzer can't hit on the first. Danzer has 8 points here today. And the second one rattles out as well. It's now under 4 minutes to go. Morey out to Ashley, over to Buchanan. Now pass intercepted by Seams. He runs out into the front court, and he'll pick up his first 2 of the game. But once again, he's had such a big impact on the defensive end, loose balls, second chances. And Seams is just one of those utility players that can change a game, whether they're scoring or not. As that pass gets away from Sampson. Haley comes up with it. Chapman. He's stuck on 29 points for a little while now, trying to see if he can get his 30th. It's Cole Chapman. He'll find a crease, drives in with the right hand, and he'll finish. And Cole Chapman gets into double figures now. He's got 11 points. Ashley bounce pass over to Sampson. Cross court, Crawford almost stepped out of bounds, but kept his feet in. And another strong defensive performance. With 4 on the shot clock, Sampson steps back and buries a 3. His second 3 of the game. And Sampson with 13 points overall. And this Tech squad holding teams to 63.8 points per game. That number's going to come down some after this tournament. Again, holding Lindsey Wilson to 55. Thus far, holding Carolina to 49 as Danzer for 3. That one's short. As Carolina comes up with it, and Carolina, they've been struggling. Fine points most of the season. Again, just averaging 60.3 points per game coming in. And found a little life late in the first half and Just trying to find some consistency as Morey launches a deep three, almost banked it in, as see both sides going to have all their subs checking in at the next whistle as they look underneath for seams and couldn't handle it and out of bounds. So that'll bring everybody off the bench here. Goebbels will check in. So Nolan Carney. See Davenport, Tesfit, as well as Eli Campbell into the game for West Virginia Tech. Pittman stays on the floor as Johnson gives it back over to Crawford. Johnson dribbles in, doesn't find anything, kicks it back over to Pittman. Johnson now will launch a three from the side, left it short. May have been a piece of that caught on the way up. It's Davenport will give it off. Campbell gives it back to Davenport for three. That one too strong, and Pittman grabs the board with 1 minute to go here in the ball game. Crawford back over for Pittman. Swing it over left side, three on the way, and that one no good from Crawford as Goebel grabs the rebound. 40 seconds to play. It's Tesfit. Swing it over, three on the way left side, and almost falling, but off the mark that time for Carney. It's taken away by Carolina. The shot clock is turned off. We'll see if Carolina wants to take another attempt or not here, as a second convincing win for West Virginia Tech in this Bevo Francis Classic. They defeat Lindsey Wilson 70-55 yesterday, and they'll knock off Carolina 73-49 here today. Another convincing victory for George Wilmore's club as they move to 5-2 on the season. We'll step aside for a break, and when we come back, we'll finish off everything here from game one of the Bevo Francis Classic here on this Saturday afternoon, as you are watching live with us here on Video Productions. (73-49), West Virginia Tech knocks off Carolina University here today from Rio Grande University. Chris Kidd and Josh Bowman with you as they're naming the all-tournament team here for these two teams. Chris High making it for Carolina University. As Braden Chapman making it for West Virginia Tech, so you'll see some of them announced as we run through our final statistics here. As Carolina here today, led by Dakota Sampson with 13 points. Then you had Chris High with 8, Trey Crawford with 8, Andrew Pittman with 7 points, Hugo Morey with 5, Cameron Buchanan with 3, Isaiah Johnson with 3, and Ashley finishing with 2 points to round out the scoring for Carolina. On the other side for West Virginia Tech University, Braden Chapman, again, stellar game for him. 6 3-pointers, 29 points in all today to lead all scorers. And you had Thomas Haley with 16 points, Cole Chapman with 11 points, followed by Cameron Danzer with 8, Christian Goebel with 3, and then Adam Seams, Austin Davenport, and Darren Martin each with 2 points apiece to round out the scoring for West Virginia Tech. Again, Tech was 8 of 12 from the line, Carolina University 5 of 8 overall from the charity stripe. And the West Virginia Tech Golden Bears dominate their way to a 73-49 victory here today over Carolina. So again, we've got another game coming your way at approximately 1 o'clock today, as we have St. Mary of the Woods women's team getting set to take on Governor State in our next clash. So make sure you come back with us here shortly on Video Productions for more of the Bevo Francis Classic. But again, it's West Virginia Tech running away with it 73-49 against Carolina. We'll be back here shortly here from the Bevo Francis Classic on Video Productions.